The Johannesburg Stock Exchange was right in the centre of attention as fears gripped investors over the possible replacement of the country's finance minister, Pravin Gordhan. Now, he was summoned by an elite police unit over an investigation into a suspected rogue spy unit in the tax service, the South African Revenue Service. He has, however, declined to be summoned. The banking index fell 4% in trading today. Standard Bank was the worst hit. It was down by as much as 5.7%. FirstRand down 4.8%. Barclays Africa down 3.9%. Nedbank down 2.9%. Now, while banks did suffer, resources and offshore-focused companies benefited from the weaker rand. The JSE's Resource 10 index rose by 2.4%, led higher by gold miners. AngloGold Ashanti's 5.26% rise and Goldfields' rise of 3.7%. SABMiller was also higher, up 4.49%. British American Tobacco was also up by nearly 3.4%. Now, the rally by miners and other rand hedges kept the overall market in the green, with the all-share index gaining 1%, settling at 53,477.5 points in trading today. Let's find out exactly what's going on. Angelo Coppola is live in Johannesburg. Has been following this story. Angelo, for those of us who haven't followed this tussle between the finance minister and the Hawks unit, give us some background to it. The basic gist of it is that he's being accused, while being the head of SARS, of having established a clandestine unit of some sort for surveillance within that particular body. Tell us more about that.
Well, the bottom line here is the head of the Hawks has always said that he's not treating the Minister of Finance as a suspect. Bottom line here is the fact that there are three pieces of legislation that we know of that are in question here, and there could be three charges. So there's one that relates to the Intelligence Act, and then the second one relates to sections of the Public Finance Management Act. First of all, as you correctly said, that covert unit was used for intelligence gathering or spying extensively, really just to try and attract or to try and get information on people who may or may not be paying their taxes or their full amounts. The Public Finance Management Act relates to an appointment of a senior official that Pravin Gordhan, at the time as SARS Commissioner, had asked to resign and then rehired him, and there were some discrepancies, and it seems he broke some regulations there. So it's those two areas that are in question at the moment. That Intelligence Act seems to be the more important one, and it seems like the minister stood on some other minister's toes, specifically the National Intelligence Agency. And Gordhan has always maintained that he's done nothing wrong and that he did follow the rules, Raman.
Indeed, and in his statement today, he pointed out, look, I've dealt with these very questions earlier in the year, so why is he being summoned yet again and in such a public manner by the Hawks?
It seems like everything's being fought about in public at the moment. It's unclear why this round has now come up or why this has been resurrected again. One analyst suggests that it feels kind of orchestrated. The timing is interesting, I'm told, as it comes just a few weeks after the local government elections, which saw the ANC get its nose bloody despite trying to put up this united front. You'll recall that it lost 3 key metros in the most recent election. The Hawks, of course, are quick to point out, as I said, that Gordhan wasn't a suspect, and yet they want him to come in and fill in or complete a warning statement. We're still trying to determine what that warning statement actually is. Nothing's changed from May until now, as far as we're aware, unless, of course, the Hawks have new evidence. But, of course, they're playing their cards quite close to the chest, so we don't know where we stand right now. Raman?
One final question for you, Angelo. Let's assume, theoretically, that this is essentially just one massive political fight here, especially in the wake of that particularly drastic election result. Who stands to gain the most if Pravin Gordhan is kicked out as finance minister, and why?
Of course, we're speculating here, but it's interesting, and it's been pointed out several times, that the country's president hasn't gone public with his unequivocal support for the finance boss. He's made one backhanded comment several months ago that he said he did support Gordhan, otherwise he wouldn't be sharing a public speaking engagement with him. It was kind of an awkward moment, and I remember watching Gordhan's face at the time, and he had this fixed smile on his face, as if he was kind of not sure if the president was being legitimate or not. Could it be that Gordhan's push to fix SAA and the other near bankrupt state institutions has forced the president's hand? I'm going to quote loosely here from Winston Churchill. it's a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Of course, Churchill then was referring to what Russia was going to do in 1939. Raman?
Indeed, we'll leave it there for the time being. Hopefully you'll keep us appraised of what exactly that riddle wrapped in a mystery and an enigma will eventually come out as in the market.